What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
It's Frelin Arts, subprime hero.
And we are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. Look at this individual that's in here with us right now. The one, the only, Owen
Moon.
That's what's up, guys. Good to see you.
Bro?
Good to be back in the studio.
It's been a little bit, but man, you've been super busy. I know you've been growing your business and helping other businesses grow at the same time. So, man, super excited to have you on the show. Super excited to have our guests on the show today. Thank you for bringing them to the table. I know I'm excited to have a meal with them and just talk about and feed ourselves with amazingness that's going on in this industry. So, let's go.
I figure, we kicking off the fall season here of Fixed Ops Fridays. Right. What is it, September 1st? So I think we're kind of unofficially there, but obviously we have a lot of different guests that we bring on, right? We bring on digital marketing representatives, we bring on owners, we bring in service managers, things like that. But I felt like today's guest would be a really, really good one to bring on. We had Craig Farmer on, I think, a couple months ago. Aaron works with Craig very well, but Aaron is their corporate fixed ops director, and so I always love bringing on the fixed ops directors because they're the ones in the trenches every day, and so just to kind of pick his brain, kind of learn a little bit from him, and kind of see what's happening in the trenches is going to be amazing. So let's get him on and let's brew a little bit.
Well, let's go ahead and get this brewing, everybody. Cheers to you all, wherever it is that you are. If you are watching this live, if you are watching this on the replay, let's go ahead and make sure that we get as many people in here as possible, no matter what time you're catching up on this Fixed Ops Friday. But you need to tag a car guy.
Tag a car gal.
And share. Get
it out there.
Everybody. Oh. Let's get to brewing some solutions. Let's have some fun, and let's get ready to really, really try to dig in to what it takes to get better as we consistently do this on a Friday. It's the first of the month, everybody. It is September. Look at how fast everything has moved. It is time for us to get inside of the groove. So help us out, everybody. Tell us where it is that you're watching from. Again, on the replay or on the live. Tell us where you're watching. Jordan Cox, where are you at, brother? Welcome to the party.
I know where he's at. What's up, Jordan? What's going on, Mr. Michigan man? What's up?
Man.
Heck actually, Indiana. He's in Indiana.
Indiana, yeah. You know where he is. Okay. So with that, Jordan Cox, go ahead and give us an extra comment over there and tell us where you're at. But everybody else listening and watching, wherever you are, tell us where you're at and tell us where you're catching us from. We want to know where our incredible solutionaries are all over the world. And we want to talk to you today because inside of the cafe right now is the one, the only, Aaron Zimmerman. Welcome to the show.
There he is.
Thanks for having
me. And where are you joining us from today, Aaron?
I'm in beautiful Owings Mills, Maryland right now. Just about 20 minutes outside of Baltimore.
Right on.
Okay, we're not going to be far from there soon. Excited about that. Heck yeah. So, Owen, you get to pick the lineup. You go out there searching for solutionaries all over the place to pack a good and value-filled Fixed Ops Friday. So, brother, tell us why it is that it's so important that we do have Aaron on here. I mean, I know a little bit, but for those that don't know what's brewing out there with Aaron, please let us know, why is he the guest for today's Fixed Ops Friday?
Yeah, I've known Aaron for a while. Actually met him in person at the Lexus Parts and Service Conference earlier this summer when we were out in Las Vegas. Had a chance to chat with him a little bit, and right after I got done chatting with him, I was like, okay, I got to make sure I get Aaron on the show. And obviously, being kind of our first show back, I thought this would be a good time. Aaron has a great resume. I don't probably know half of it, which I think I'm hopefully going to learn a little more about Aaron today. One of the cool things I liked about Aaron when I as I've worked with him, as our team has worked with him, is that their organization is one of the top-notch organizations that I know and that I have a chance to work with. They've got a lot of really high-end brands like Porsche and Lexus and things like that. And there's a different way that you got to go about not only that with that product, right, from a service standpoint, but maybe even that clientele, right? It's a little different clientele. And anybody that's out there that's looking to increase that experience, and that's one of the big things that Lexus really dives into. It's why we became a premier partner of theirs. We're the only approved specials management or website optimization partner that they have. And it's because of our platform and the way we make everything very, OEM focused and that type of thing. And so when we work with Aaron and his team and really kind of drive that experience on the website, I'm sure that Aaron likes to carry that all the way through into the the pre-appointment, the appointment, and then even the post-appointment. So, Aaron, with that being said, man, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Why don't you get into your background? I'd love to kind of learn a little more myself about you, as well as everybody else that's listening today. So,
yeah, sure. Let's see. I think I've just been in the business like 18 years now. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. I needed a job for the wintertime because I worked at a golf course, and in Cleveland, probably much like Kentucky, you can only golf like maybe 4 months out of the year, and then you got cold weather and snow you're dealing with. So I was just need something to get me by for a while. And my roommate was detailing cars, and he got me a job he told me he was going to be as a detailer. And then on day one, they're like, well, we're actually going to make you the shop janitor. And if you just clean the car wash for us and get the trench drain cleared out and change light bulbs and stuff. I was like, yeah, whatever. $6.50 an hour, sign me up, deal. And then it just, did really well at it and worked my butt off. And, the store I was at I would say, very progressive and now offered a lot of opportunities. And I became a valet. I was like a technology specialist before that position was even out, really. And cashier, advisor, really did as much as I could with that company. I was there for a while, and then moved on to a Lexus store, was a writer over there for a while, and then made that leap into management, and just kind of slowly progressed. My first manager job was Jaguar Land Rover of Cleveland. It was 6 people I managed, and they were losing money every month. And, we got in, turned it around, and just looked at things outside the box, and kind of made a little bit of a name for myself in Cleveland. Moved on to another store over there, came down to Maryland, and, I spent a little bit of time with Chevy Chase Cars, running Acura and Nissan for them. I've been with BMW for a few years over here. I was previously with another group as a corporate, service director. And then when this position came up, with the Stoler organization, I met with them. I told them what my vision, my real unique vision was, and what I thought the constraints were in this industry on the fixed ops side of things. And they were, Mr. Stoler was just like, well, whatever you want to do, I'm buying it. Just make me a partner, keep me in the loop, and I want to know what you're doing, but nobody will hold you back. And he's been true. So I'm coming up on my year anniversary here. I couldn't be happier. They allow me to work with the partners I want to work with. That fortunately we already had Owen and Alana on our team already to begin with, which I would have that would have been one of the first calls I made anyways. But our farmer here already had that relationship. So, but they really do. They just want things to be done the right way, be transparent. Which is that's all I'm about. It's just the dollars and cents will take care of themselves, but taking care of the employees, taking care of the client, it's really the same thing. So very fortunate to be where I'm at. I recognize I've screwed up many, many times, and I've been fortunate enough to, it hasn't burned my career, but I've definitely learned from those mistakes. And it's very important to me to, especially nurture some of the younger employees in this industry that you really can make a really good living and a complete life-changing experience for you and your family that I don't know of any other industry that you can. So I'm a very big advocate of this business. If I ever hear anybody trashing the auto industry, I'd launch myself right in the middle of that conversation, and I try to change the narrative, I guess. And so I'm happy to be here.
That's awesome. Yeah,
man.
No,
so many nuggets. I just got to say, for one, Cleveland is a city where I come from. So anyway, but on the real talk, seriously, you drop so many nuggets that so many sides of the coin can learn something from. And literally, for one, you can get into this industry in such a side way, making $6.25 an hour. I remember those days, folks. You gave away some of your age. Yeah. So that those were what a way to come in. But you were grateful because it was money in your pocket. It was some change, and it was a job that you knew you could do. And then you built confidence. You started looking at all these different opportunities. You were at a place that was right. You started from the bottom. Now you're here. Right. And you're still growing, and you still have so much more to give. And look, and the confidence inside you, even the way you spoke, was pretty awesome. Because you knew it happened. It's possible. So many people need to hear that story. But then on the other side, employers. understand that you have people in your business right now that you hired that started where he started as the janitor in the freaking cleanup department. That can turn into somebody that can change your business. But if you got to nurture those people, you got to give them opportunities. So many little nuggets there. I'm just grazing the top there. I mean, I love what you just said, and I loved your story, man. I think that's something that's needs to be heard more often, and I'm so glad we got to share it on the show today. But yeah, bro, seriously, like, congratulations to you for all the hard work. And what I love the most is that you're still working and you're still going, and that's just evidence of showing people that it's not about getting to one thing. Well, this is like the greatest thing ever. Well, there's other things that you can be grateful for having, but there's things that you can be grateful for getting in the future. So go after it. And man, don't ever stop, man. I love it. Grow your own. That's right, Tully. That's right.
That's right, Tully.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, another thing I heard there, and obviously it ties into, Aaron, as you progress through the ranks, that gives you the experience. So when you get to the top, when you're running the place like you are now, you know what these other individuals are going through. And I'm assuming that makes you a better leader. I'm assuming that gives you a lot of empathy towards those positions. And that is what I love. There's a lot of people that, I always say it's, people think they grew a business from scratch, but they started at third base because it was their dad's or whatever, right? It's like you hit the home run, but you started at third base. That's not really a home run at that point. And so many, and you're right, the auto industry is probably one of the few industries out there that you can start from the bottom and work your way up. And there's really no one's going to get in your way. You're going to get your own way, or you're going to create your own path. And it just takes a lot of hard work. You got to be smart. You got to make some mistakes, right? Stumble a little bit, and then get yourself there. So, I've been out to see your guys' corporate headquarters. I've sat in some of the areas, seen the service center that I saw was in Porsche. It's a great facility. Haven't made it to the New York stores yet. That's one thing I want to do. So maybe we'll have to line that up when you're up there next time. Maybe I'll swing up there for a day trip and get to meet everybody up there. But from a leadership standpoint, what are you seeing? How are you? Do you have a lot of seasoned service managers? Are you seeing some turnover? What are you seeing there on your guys' organization? And maybe we can kind of talk about it from the industry side.
Yeah, no, it's a very good question. And back to your other point, it absolutely does help me. I've always felt I never asked people to do stuff I've never done myself. And it helps you catch problems. And when things pop up, I can understand, like, well, the cashier did it because of X, Y, and Z. I know because I used to do that 15 years ago. So it's like, well, when they batched out, it blah, 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 and people are like, oh, dang. And then that tells me you've never sat in that seat and you don't know what they're going through. So yeah, I do encourage all my managers. I don't over email them. I might send them 2 emails a day. Other than that, I'm like, roll your sleeves up and get out in the department and fix your problems that you're getting. But our group, it's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, we've had, I think, some positive turnover since I've been with the group. We've certainly had some necessary upgrades that we've made and brought in. I feel my role right now is, one, put the best team on the field that I can, and it starts with leadership in that office, and then everything grows from that. But yeah, we're always educating everybody. We're always, we partner with Dynatron. So Dynatron's actually doing a workshop out here next week for our managers on parts and service side, and just geek them out on all the numbers and go over, how everything affects everything and all the domino effects from it. So some of them just need to get a good understanding of that. We do a lot of advisor training that I do firsthand with our advisors. I did that with my previous group as well too, but we just started getting into doing it with Stoler here. We do technician training on our own, so we do multi-point inspection training that we need to get back into, but it's just basics, blocking and tackling a lot of times. I do see a lot of younger managers, not necessarily in our group, but in managers I've interviewed that really have absolutely no clue what the manager job is. And they're like, well, I thought it was just supposed to be, opening and closing repair orders. And it's like, well, no, I need you to lead the department and set the example. And so that's more of what the message that we preach in our weekly meetings with our teams is, speed of the leader, speed of the team. How if you're not performing, if you're walking around grumpy or whining about stuff, like, what do you think your whole department mood is going to be? And then how does that affect your client? And then again, I can pencil in any of these departments how to make money, but it's like, how do you really make people want to do business with you and feel good about being there? And so we try to open people's eyes to things like that, try to share, some books or some videos and stuff like that with management on different leadership, skills, or I guess processes. And a lot of it we pull, we have 4 Lexus and 1 Toyota store, and we really pride ourselves on being a big, Lexus Toyota partner. So a lot of what we talk about is, Genshi Gambutsu, and the new one from Lexus is Omatanashi, and it's like predicting the way that a customer wants to, do business with you. But it's really, to me, it's just like common knowledge stuff. It's just, this is how you have to do it. It's and we're Kaizen crazy. It's never accepting where you're at. We have a motto: if anybody says the word best, you're getting reprimanded. The only word we're allowed to use is better, because there is no finite point where that department has stopped. So we have, our Mercedes store in Long Island City. I mean, the team up there just blows me away with how driven they are to continue to grow a department from, say last year there was $700,000-800,000 in fixed gross, and now they're how do we get to 1.8 million? It's like they're that driven and that focused. Yeah. We're like halfway to that point now, and they never rest on a great month. It's like, great, we did a great job. Let's go to Topgolf and celebrate, and then back at it.
Have a steak and call it good, right? Get going.
Right. That's it. And
I love it.
Zeros, so that's really the drive that I'm trying to get to every store. And we have some managers, it's just natural that's just the way they're wired, is to just be, the number has to get beat over and over again. But I think thinking about bigger picture too is very important, that I think some of the younger managers don't necessarily get. So doing things like the workshop we're doing, and doing weekly check-in meetings with all the managers, even though we're across states, we try to share a lot of ideas about what works, do like a 20 group best idea kind of thing, and try to highlight, people that have kind of put themselves out there and done something different. And hey, if it didn't work, you did a service, cars and coffee, and somebody crashed your car. Hey, at least you tried it and you got some attention and you got a lot of views on Instagram or whatever. You're doing something about it. But what we're not going to do is fighting complacency with, and I guess I'm an older guy now, but fighting complacency with like a younger generation that just wants to coast,
show up,
cruise control. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things this industry is, and that ain't one of them. You
That's
cannot
right.
Sit back and accept last year's figures or whatever. So that's, I feel, my job, and that's me being a leader. That's my speed I need to put out there all the time. Is that we're always going to be better. We're always going to improve all facets of our business. We're not married to anything. Whatever makes sense is what we're going to do. So,
well, Aaron, that's incredible. Love the heart of leadership that you have. Jordan Cox is here saying leaders set the tone for sure. I don't know anybody that would disagree with that. You have Mike Vogel that shares somewhat of a similar story. He says, I started as a used car porter, then prep department, then service advisor, and eventually to fixed ops leadership.
Love it, Mike.
That's what I'm talking about. And then Brian Ortega talking about, that's awesome. All great stuff that's brewing here. And what I love to look at is the whole generational connection piece, because you can't be intentional about advancing your departments and advancing the long haul of the business without being able to embrace and take in that next generation that may not quite get it the way that we do, right? Or the way that those that have come before us do and are still there. Right. What is some of the way that you operate in leadership, and would advise people to understand that they're coming in the way they're coming in, kind of like the car. Right? The car is coming in as broken as it's going to be, and we have to find a way to get it fixed and get it back to operating at its well, I don't want to say best, right? But operating at peak, operating better, right?
Yeah.
And inside of that you're taking the people with great experience, and you're taking these fresh people that the work ethic understanding is totally different. Right, it's something totally different in what a person is looking at in efforts. I mean, we got older kids, right? We got Owen and me share a day. We both became grandpas the same day, right? And understanding that the communication with another generation is critical. Aaron, what do you say about, or what do you say is something that people can do to be intentional about being able to foster an environment where you're older techs or your more experienced techs can take those under their wing and be able to set the tone? Because in the end, the ones with all the stripes ain't going to be there. You know what I mean? Eventually, there's going to need to be people that can take the torch and go on. What do you say for leaders that are in positions like that?
Sure. Yeah. My advice would just be kind of like anything, what's in it, find out what's in it for them. You really got to get to know people, I think, on a not too personal level, but you got to know what motivates them. Like I joked this morning, like I know what triggers my body shop managers. So I put a little carrot out and dangled something out there for these guys a few days ago. I want them, all of a sudden they hit exactly that objective, like to the dollar. It's like, so they know how to get there, but it's just like, you got to find little buttons to press. Technicians, obviously, and parts guys, they're all kind of a different personality traits. So you got to kind of find out, what motivates them. And it ain't always money. And I've found a lot of time in the shop, it's lack of appreciation for what they know. They are super smart people, some of the smartest people you've ever met in your life. Obviously, you guys probably know, from working in this business. The jack of all trades, they can do AC, they can do powertrain, they can rebuild an engine, they can do quick maintenance on your car and get you on and out. I mean, they can do it all. And they have really good, unique ideas. And too often it's ignored by somebody wearing a polo shirt who's never, touched a wrench in their life. Or somebody like me who just blows right by them and walks through the shop and doesn't acknowledge that the roof is leaking on their head, or doesn't acknowledge that their air reel has been leaking for 7 weeks. You got to find what they want. So if they were looking to plug out a bunch of hours and make a ton of money, great. Get them a path so that they can do that, and that's going to reward you. If they want to be Mr. Fix-It or Mrs. Fix-It in the shop, great. Get a path and get a process together where they can do that, because you can win with somebody just having a tech that just wants to fix navigation and Bluetooth concerns all day. Believe me, there's definitely a big bonus to that. So find out a way to utilize everybody's skills, and we try to relate everything, not everything, but a lot of things to kind of building like a baseball or football team. It's like, I don't need 6 very fast wide receivers. I might need 2, but then I need a possession receiver. I need an Anquan Bolden to be my possession receiver, who's just going to get me some first downs here and there. And it's not going to be very glamorous, but they're going to go over the middle and eat the turd sandwiches for us, for the department, but it's a win, right? So it's kind of a, building a team, finding out where everybody's natural skill sets are, finding out what motivates them. Younger techs, a lot of times they want to, if you find somebody that's on time and it's working really hard and takes direction, put your arms around them 100%, because it is very rare right now. A lot of them think that I went to X school and now I'm a master tech, and it's like, well, you ain't, but we can get you there and we can help you. The senior technicians, in my experience, a lot of them, they really genuinely do want to pass that knowledge down, but they're not going to do it if it's some knucklehead who's dicking around on his phone all day. They're not going to help them, and I don't blame them. So I encourage all those younger techs, and I'm like, look, put your phone in your top drawer, and if you want to pay for that phone, like, listen to Bruce next to you, because Bruce is going to help you get to that point where you're now 100K your technician, and I can't help you do that. So that's the shop. With parts guys, I think it's painting. They're kind of a weird bunch. They memorize the whole catalog, and it just doesn't make sense to me. But kind of a lot of them also, they want to have input in the department on how to make it flow better, and they have unique ideas, but a lot of times they just get sucked into a monitor, and it's like, fill the order. It's like, no, if you just, parts managers, I think, that break off some of their little mundane tasks and train them well, like, they love it, and they feel like they have a role there other than just saying how much a brake pad costs. So that's those guys. And advisors, they're all over the place. Some of them, they want to make $1 million a year. Some of them do want to move up. I just encourage people, find out what they want to do, and just like techs, whichever one they want to do is going to help you. If you have somebody that has great ideas for to improve their operation, great, involve them in your meetings. Have them. I used to have a guy that now he's a very well-off service director. We had him in our parts and service meetings with the shop, and he would kind of talk about what he was seeing from the advisor desk, and it helped, and it was good feedback that the techs needed to hear. Normally you wouldn't do something like that. Normally you kind of like keep the two sides apart. But it definitely helped. He got an appreciation for it. He moved up. He worked under me for a little while, and now he's doing his own thing. He's doing great.
That's so awesome.
And with managers, it's, I have guys that I'm kind of, nurturing to hopefully, become the next me. And then some that, just want to get onto a bigger store. Some that want to go off and be general managers. And so I have to find that information out. And then I look at, as situations happen, how do you coach them on, well, hey, this, we got it handled, it's good, but hey, in the future, this is how this was reflected to the corporate office, and this is how it was interpreted, is that, you don't have your shit together because of whatever, and this is what you can do to avoid in the future, and this is how it would then be viewed. So I get it, but ultimately it is what's in it for them, And,
I love that, man. That's called love.
Yeah,
That's it. To me, what you're talking about is principle. It's the very basic principle of loving people. Not worrying about, are they going to take my position? It's like, how can I help them get to the position where they want to be?
Right.
And it really is, man.
I know other people that get shy about it. I got turned down on jobs before, I know, because I was flat out told, well, you were probably going to take this person. I'm like, all right, well, what's the problem? I view it as it's going to make our team better. And if somebody knows more than me, come on in. If you want to work for
that's exactly how you need to. That's why you're going, and why you've gone where you've gone so far, and why you're going where you're going, my friend Aaron. Dude, your mentality, your MO, the way that you operate, bro. It's. I wish it was more common, and it should be, because it's love. You think that being that way should be normal, but a lot of people hate when somebody's getting ready to outshine them. I'm like, no, dude, that's legacy for me. That's somebody that I'm part of, somebody that I help culture into this. Whether they're great. I hope there's supposed to be people greater than me at things, right? That's okay. And that makes things great. And that makes me excited. Man, congrats to you, man. I got to give you mad props, Aaron, dude. I love everything you're talking about, bro. Big time props to you.
And one thing I like about it, and somebody just got on there, I don't remember who it was, but she said that you got to find out what people like and what they want. Lean in their individual strengths. There we go. So how do you do that, Aaron? I mean, is it one-on-ones? Is it just kind of observing through time? Or is it a combination? Like how do you find out what that person really is about? And here's why I ask it, because I think it's a natural tendency to think, oh, that person's been here for 15 years. They need to be a leader. They need to lead the younger generation. And they might be the worst person that you want, or not even interested in it, or the person that you don't want leading, kind of maybe a combination. So how do you go about to kind of figure out inside those different places and different departments, who are the leaders, who are the people that are just the grinders, and let's just give them a wrench and let them go? Who are the ones that you want sort of training the youngsters coming up? I mean, how do you kind of, kind of filter through that?
No, it's a really good question. One, you have to, I think, to start, you have to be with a company that allows you to do this, because there's I can tell you with Stoler Group, they will like I said, they allow me to do what I think is right and make decisions very quickly, which is great, and move personnel around as I see fit for a reason. But I think you have to really, I better know what I'm doing, and I better have clear expectations of what I want from each position, right? So if I always, and I'm probably to a fault, blame too much on myself that I didn't communicate the expectations well enough. So if something doesn't go right, I'm like, man, maybe I didn't make it clear enough. But again, I'm not a big email guy. So, but if I know that I've communicated, I know I've given them the tools to succeed, I know I've set the expectation, and it's not getting done, then I need to go have a serious heart-to-heart and find out, hey, do you not believe what I'm selling, or is there some other issue with it? And you can evaluate really quickly. Either they don't have that natural leadership to actually go execute a change, because that's difficult, or I'm like pulling them back because they're changing too much too fast, and I don't know what the hell's going on. They're just running around rogue. So that's the flip side to it too. So I think you got to get out of your office, go find out what's going on in your stores, spend time with them. I think one-on-ones is great, but also I think collaborating with different team members helps out a lot. So we have, I'd say probably our youngest service director in the group is probably in the early 30s, and then we go up into the 50s and the early 60s in a group, and all different backgrounds. We're in Maryland, New York, Queens, Long Island. I mean, we have people with all kinds of different backgrounds. So, they might have an idea for it, or, and I'm big on scoreboards, so I'll put the KPIs I think are necessary and put them on a board. And it's like, well, if Joe can do it, why can't Frank? You have the same tools at your disposal. Let's talk about it. Frank, what's working for you? Joe, what's working for you? And then I trust that they're honest with each other. And you can kind of see if somebody's crawling back into the shell. It's like, well, maybe there's another use for them. Maybe this isn't really something that comes natural for them, but they're very smart with a warranty schedule or whatever. They can keep that clean and super tidy, but going to talk to an angry customer is not something they're very good at doing. And it's like, okay, well, that's a big part of the job. So maybe let's, kind of dive into it a little bit deeper. But I think trying to be, very fair with everybody. And I think, but it starts with the leadership and the direction. I think a lot of I'm fortunate with the group. We're with our size, 10 stores. I have a pretty good channel to get my direction out to everybody, and I don't have a ton of regional people or anything like that. And like some of the mega groups do, where a lot of times the stores that they don't know what the expectation is from corporate. And group our size, while we are very profitable and very successful, it's a pretty tight knit crew that we have in the executive team here. And so it's easy to get that message out, and then it's again easy to hold your teams accountable, I feel.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, and we talk about it a lot in this industry. A lot of this industry is very reactive, right? And
Agree with you so
when
much.
and it's because of lack of leadership, right? When you don't have leadership, you're reacting all the time. What I really like about Aaron and Craig and the team there is that I feel like you guys know what you want. You guys have a great executive team that can sort of push the mission, and then let your team just do what they do best and work the plan, like, so to speak. So I think that's a testament to you. It's a testament to the rest of the executive team and even to Mr. Stoler. I mean, obviously, who starts at the top. So congrats and keep rocking. Are you guys looking to expand some more? Is there any more Lexus stores out there for you to buy?
We're always looking. If anybody wants to chat me in the message that they got a store for sale, let me know. But no, I mean, we still have a lot of room to grow with our own stores that we currently have.
Yeah,
with the reputation we have throughout the auto industry and the communities that we're in, I think we're definitely primed for picking up some more for sure.
Nice.
that makes sense, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, nothing in the works that I'm aware of right now, but I know we always have our ears open for sure.
Let's pivot to your customer base, because obviously being Highline, Porsche, Lexus, BMW, Mercedes, not BMW, Mercedes.
Okay.
What do you see in there? I mean, you came from Cleveland. You obviously were at a Highline store there, but I'm sure before that you've been doing other brands, things like that. What are you seeing differently from that clientele? Is there something that that you can see differently that you have to account for?
Yeah, I've worked a lot of brands between this group and the last group especially, but the Highline customers, I've felt they just want it to be as easy as possible, as seamless as possible. And I mean, like, everything, my appointment, my phone call in, my status updates. I want to be able to trust what's going on in the shop. I think the Benz and the Porsche customer especially, they like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. And by horse, I mean the technician. So we've put a big emphasis this year on technician videos, technician walkarounds, uploading multimedia. And our goal is that 80% of all of our customer pay repair orders have a video attached with it that's personalized, custom to the car. And that I told these guys a couple months ago, I said, I'm drawing a line in the sand, very clear. This is how we're going to do business. Point, period, end of story. I don't want to hear any exceptions. So we talk about it every week, where everybody's at. Everybody has a tool to use it. If the tool doesn't work, give me a call and I will come down there and have a meeting with your shop and explain how to do it. And so that's, I think, really important to me is, just, again, I'm a pain in the butt. If something doesn't work online, like, done, I'm moving on to the next one. And so, we're looking at our online appointment system. We're constantly looking at our phone system in the dealership. We're constantly measuring how many people are calling for updates on their cars. We're looking at cycle times from the shop. We're looking at how long are estimates taking in the parts department to get quoted back to the client. Are we sending the inspection electronically to the customer? How often, and what are the results from that? And then for marketing wise, we're looking at every avenue we can. Like, how do people want to be marketed about, or reminded, even just if you just said service reminders, how do I want to be reminded about my car? Like, if it's email or text, or do I want, somebody watching me and then picking my brain on Instagram and telling me I need to come in and get my car serviced. Whatever it is, we really try to look at every avenue that we can. So texting has been a big one. We've just recently rolled out. We're automatic text service reminders. And we've, kind of early, but we've seen pretty good results so far with that. We just find that that's an easy way for people to do business. I mean, when you're a Mercedes customer that lives in Manhattan, time is everything, and it's just ultimate importance of getting in and out. I don't want to be bogged down for 4 hours here. I want to drop my car off, get my black car service, and then get down to the city and then come back. Our Lexus clients, a lot of them, they want, a lot of it's preventative maintenance work. So We're selling value of the car. Obviously, it's a great asset that does not depreciate like some other cars. And then with the Porsche world, it's just, I think, unique, personalized service. So we have 2 fantastic service advisors over here, great new service director, and a fantastic shop that do things the right way. They explain things very to the T, because those are very techie people. And I'll tell you though, but not just Highline, like the Toyota customer is difficult too. I mean, they're like,
I think all customers are difficult, Aaron. And I think, and I mean that in the nicest way. What I love what you're talking about, and what kept just ringing in my head is the experience that you hear at these Highline stores. Folks, give them to everyone.
Yeah.
If you can make this, like, everybody wants it to be faster. Everybody wants it to be more convenient. Everybody wants it to be, feel like that they're getting the red carpet treatment. That's what they all want. They want it. I want it. I'm not a Porsche guy. I mean, I could be, but I don't want to be. Like, I just need my vehicle serviced, but I want to be transparent. I want to know the real time, how long it's actually going to take. I want it to be done right. And I love the idea, like everything. The video, sending me a video saying, "Hey, look what's going on with your car right here. We can get this fixed for you right now. What do you think?" I'm going to say yes, because I see it now. It's different than just hearing it. Because when I just hear it, I'll do it next time. But when I see it, I want to do it now.
Yeah.
I see that leaking. Yes, I do see it. Fix that, please. Right? That's so different. Oh,
I think it's also, most people now, especially around the DC, Baltimore, like working on cars is not cool like it was when I was in high school and stuff. Like, so the knowledge that people have of cars, like most people don't even know what brake pads are. Or I joke, I'm like, I told a customer once, there's a screw in your tire, and the person did not know what I was talking about. They thought it was just rolling around inside of it. And then I sent them a picture, like, no, it literally has punctured your tire. They're like, oh, dang, go ahead and fix it. It's like stuff like that you just take for granted in our industry. So when you can get a little education of, oh, that pump probably should not be leaking, blue fluid out of the side of it. That looks like it's a pump. But having a visual, it's just a world of difference. And I can speak personal experience. I've had like plumbers and stuff come by dealerships and do work, and I'm like, let's start talking to me about industrial plumbing. I'm clueless. They got a video and picture to back it up. If this is your sewer out to the street blocked, I'm like, yeah, sign me up. Here you go.
Yeah, I need that fixed now. Right.
With it, so.
I love that.
And you're right. And that 80% rule, that's for, we have Hyundai, we have Jeep, we have Chevy, we have Toyota. Like, that's across the board. I didn't say this is only Benz or this is only Porsche. Like, no, it's everything.
I love that. And I'm glad, and I know that's how you guys are. You guys are rolling out the red carpet for all your customers. That's why you guys are growing and buying stores. But I love what you said when we joked about the whole, hey, when you're going to buy your next one, you're like, hey, if anyone out there looking or buying, and you said, but then you went and retracted for a slight moment and said, well, we have plenty of work at our own stores to do. Oh, I love that. That was such a good comment, man. Like, seriously, like big time, So anyway, this has been good. I know Lou's been dying to say something. What do you got, Lou?
I ain't got nothing to say.
That's such a lie.
That's a first. No,
right, bing bong. No, but you said so much. There's just so much that you poured out, and inside of it, just to pull a few pieces from everything that you said, and also the connection to the customers, and also let's tie in some of our people who are customers right now, those that are viewing. Thank you so much for viewing. LinkedIn is popping and locking. We appreciate everybody watching us over on LinkedIn. Facebook, we appreciate you too. Everybody just continue to keep asking questions, keep jumping into the conversation and having conversations inside of the comments. But Aaron, you said something, and you keep laying something out that is a key piece, I believe, in leadership or being successful, whether you're coaching or whether you're selling, but it's setting that expectation and putting it out there and then letting it be seen. It's one thing for your people to know what has to be done, and then it's a whole other thing to make sure that they know how to do it. It's one thing to be able to say, I'm aiming at a target, and then the one that's helping coach that person firing down range has to make sure, can you see the target, right? Can you see what's out there? Because you keep missing, or you are getting it, or and even with the customer, right? With the customer, do you really see how important it is that we fix this? You know what I mean? Like, let me help you get that. Setting that expectation from a leadership level, all the way down, from an executive level, all the way across, and then all the way to the customer of saying, hey, we're going to make sure that we do set an expectation for what your experience is going to be like with us, the same as we're setting an experience expectation for those that work for us. Like, this is what's going to be expected of you. You see your target, right? You have the aptitude to hit it. You tied in so much inside of it, and it makes sense why it is seamless and why it is as refined is because, again, you have a high level clientele that you want to tie together a great experience for, while at the same time everybody that's doing the work for them feel fulfilled, feel like they've actually accomplished something with their day, right? They're not just servicing somebody that's bougie and just has to fix their car and mess it up. No, I love my product and I love making it work better, right? Let's go ahead and touch base with a few people that are here. We got Mike. Doug Reeves jumped in here. Steve Apicella, so true. What did Steve say? Let's go back to that comment real quick. Steve Apicella said, our great industries customers' perceptions are earned for better or worse. One touch point at a time. Employee experience plus customer experience equals hashtag your dealer experience. Before, during, and after the vehicle sale. One unified mission. If hashtag auto retail desires the recurring customer beyond the one-time.
Heck yeah, we do. I do. Baby, that's how you grow. You don't want to lose your current customer base. You want to love on them. You want to water them, right? I love that.
Mike Vogel says, trust, value, convenience. Those words mean different things to different people. Somebody said amen to that. Come on.
Hallelujah.
Come on. And Mike, appreciate you and all your comments, Mike. Keep them coming. Some customers, it's about value. Some, it's about convenience. And trust is important to all of us. Trust is, right, some of the most valuable piece, because they will quickly go someplace that if they even have a hint of not trusting you with their product, with their baby. I mean, this is their car, man.
Trust is one of the biggest ingredients in everything. It is the best ingredient for it all. Anyway, trust speeds up everything and brings way more profit. Then we got I popped this one up earlier. It says LinkedIn user Aaron Zimmerman is such an inspiration. Oh, that's so nice. I love what Brian wrote. He goes, he needs to spell it this way. Triple A Ron.
Aaron. Triple A Ron. Go on, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Heck yeah.
Hey, that's right, because that's how strong you are, man. Throw that extra A in there, man. That's right. And then we got Doug Reeves saying, Steven is so true. Dealers missed the boat and not incentivizing more unified dealership experience. All departments should be pulling in the same direction in a coordinated manner. 100%. 100%. There's no doubt. It's a team effort.
And one thing, Aaron, I remember that morning at the Lexus thing when they were, doing like the main session, and they were talking about how much younger the Lexus customers gotten in the last 18 months. I think it's dropped like 15 years, like the average customer, which means that these luxury brands are not just for the old and stuffy and bougie, as Fred called them. It's the younger generation now buying Lexus, and they're buying Mercedes, and they want to have that convenience. And so they had a lot of really great videos that were talking about, it's almost a tough thing right now, right? Because you have to service the boomers because they're still the main, audience, but now you also have to figure out how to, service the Gen Xers and all the younger team, buyers as well. So, a lot of these brands are caught in the middle of that to give, and just, someone's point there, the experience can be different depending on your age. And so you've got to be able to, give that boomer that great one-on-one in your, in-person experience. And then you got to give that younger person that texting experience and hey, I just want to drop off my car and pick it up. And I don't need that social interaction maybe, or that one-on-one interaction that maybe the older generation does. So I think a lot of dealerships are in that right now, where they have to actually do more. And as they, as the years continue to move here, obviously we'll be more into the technology side, and it's only getting bigger. So you need leaders like Aaron that can kind of take both sides and harness it. And that's where, that's where you got to find good people. And, people are everything. And I feel like a lot of the service departments, at least some of the, dealerships we're working with, are really getting back to the basics, getting back to, just, blocking and tackling, as Aaron said earlier, because when you try to expand beyond that, that's when you lose the CSI scores, you lose the reviews, and that's not what you want. So, 100%, Aaron. Good work up there. And any final thoughts, man, before we let you get back to your month end here?
No, I think we talked a lot, but no, I appreciate Owen, you inviting me on, and Fred and Lou, appreciate it. Appreciate what you guys are doing. Spreading the word of our industry. I'm always an advocate of it. And, I think it's definitely great what you guys are doing. But thanks again for having me on and allowing me to kind of share my experience and kind of my own views, and hopefully it helped, some other manager or someone in my role to think, man, why don't we do it like that?
There's no doubt in my mind. There's going to be a lot of people who go back, and even on the replay, they're going to hear what you said and they're going to get inspired. They're going to find ways that maybe they need to check themselves on. Like, hold on a second. Yeah, he's right. So, man, great stuff. Great message. Owen, great call on this guest right here, dude. You know what's up, bro. Yeah, Owen's always getting us some good ones on here, man. And you definitely right up there, Aaron. We appreciate you so much. Lou, you got any final words?
I just want to drop in there. Doug Reeves said, good point. Owen, dealerships need to develop a Swiss Army knife approach to customers. Amen to that. Yes. Be able to provide what each individual's need, which will vary, which has, again, been a big byproduct of, I believe, the entire COVID era of, you know what? We need to stop just saying what kind of one customer we want and find a way to help and take care of anybody that says they want what we got. Right? If they want it and we got it, let's find a way to get it to them. And that's awesome. Appreciate that, Doug. Thanks for joining in here. There is one last thing that we got to do in order to finish off this show, and that's make sure that we do drop some of the bombs that don't offend the moms. You know the deal, everybody. And that's forgive, focus, fly, so that we can keep growing all the time. So, Aaron, let's go ahead and swing those arms just a little bit like this and forgive, focus, fly on 3. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus,
fly, and keep growing. Keep growing. Woo!
About everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on another incredible Fixed Ops Friday. Please share this around. Let Aaron know if you had any bit of value poured inside of your cup. Tell him that you're honored to sip it on up. We've had a great time today. I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
I'm Fred Lenard, subprime hero.
And you've been brewing solutions on a Fixed Ops Friday on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast with Owen Moon and the one, the only Aaron Zimmerman. That's right, everybody. We will see you soon. Share it around. We're out.